We continue our search, and a few minutes later I'm at the door by the furnace. I open it and see JonBenet's lying on the floor with a white blanket around her. Black tape covers her mouth. Her hands are above her head, tied together with a shoestring-like cord. This episode is about when John Ramsey discovered JonBenet's dead body inside the wine cellar in the basement. My heart leaps and a rush runs through my body. I've found her, thank God, I've found her. But as soon as John opened the door, he saw something and, according to Fleet White, screamed, "Oh my God, oh my God." Now, according to John Ramsey, he was happy that he found her. I've found her, thank God I've found her. But according to Fleet White, he gives a kind of opposite reaction. He says, "Oh my God, oh my God." Those reactions are different. They're not the same. Right, I found her, and the first hope, of course, is that she's okay. I took the tape off her lips, and her lips were blue, and I tried to untie her hands and her arms. She was stiff, and so I was afraid that she was gone, and so I just picked her up and screams, and I went upstairs and laid her down on the floor. I fall down over her body. Instantly, I ripped the tape off her mouth, begging her to talk to me. I pulled the blanket off of her. Her delicate eyelids are closed, and her skin is cool to the touch. Fleet touched JonBenet's ankle. It was cold. He turned and raced up the stairs for help. Here you can see that the John Douglas book is almost word for word what John Ramsey wrote in his book. John knelt down over her, ripped the tape from her mouth, pulled off the blanket, and began trying to loosen the wrist binding. All the while he said he begged her to talk to him. Her eyes were closed. She was laying on the blanket, and the blanket was kind of folded around her legs, and her arms were tied behind her head, and there were some pieces of black tape on her legs, and her head was cocked to the side. From the time you opened the door of the cellar room, when did you discover your daughter? Was this a fraction of a second or a matter of seconds? Give me an idea. Instant. I mean, as soon as I opened the door, I saw the white blanket, and I knew. I just saw a blanket, and I knew that was our, After he had arrived at the Ramsey residence earlier this morning, Fleet said he had opened the door to the wine cellar. Fleet was unable to locate a light switch for the wine cellar. Fleet did not enter the wine cellar. Fleet had said the interior of the wine cellar was dark, and he did not see anything inside. Fleet said that the latch to the wine cellar, located at the top of the door, was secure when he checked it. Fleet re-secured the latch to the wine cellar after he closed the door. I can't stand the sight of her hands tied and have to do something to get them loose. I start untying her, but I can't get the tight knot undone. But everybody, look at this photograph of the knot. Do you notice anything there? That knot would be easy to untie. It's not tight at all. You could easily untie that knot. So was John lying about that? And why? Why would he lie about that? Everything begins to blur, and I'm slipping out of my mind and losing control. I grab JonBenet under her arms and pick her up. Stumbling out of the room, I run to the stairs, carrying my still child. From somewhere far inside of me, a scream erupts. That's all I can do. I scream like I'm in a nightmare, but my body is still asleep. I'm deathly afraid. Here's the drawing of John carrying JonBenet's dead body up the stairs, but I think it's not quite accurate. Her elbows would have been bent a little bit, and her thumbs were about touching, or were touching. John told me that JonBenet's arms had been tied. JonBenet had a piece of tape covering her mouth. John told me he removed the tape from JonBenet's mouth. John said he then grabbed JonBenet and carried her upstairs. Now here you can see that JonBenet's arms are bent at the elbow and that her thumbs are touching or almost touching. And her wrists had to be tied close together like that for the rigor mortis to have her arms in that position. So that implies that the nylon cord was taken off her left wrist hours later. And so there's something of interest there. Officer French told me that when he did check the house, he checked the basement area. Officer French had not checked behind one door in the basement. This door had a latch on the top frame of the door. The door was latched. In the basement, I attempted to open the door leading to the area where JonBenet was ultimately found, but it was secured by a wooden latch above the door. The door opened inward, and I was looking for access out of the house. Since the door could not have been used for that purpose, and it was latched closed, I did not open it. I'm not sure why Officer French said the door opened inward, because here you can clearly see that the door opens outward. And I believe his logic is, if you look at closet doors, they open outward, and bedroom doors open inward, and bedrooms often have windows. So a person could escape out a window. And so I think that's what he's trying to say. Well, this ends this episode, and I'll see you the next time on the Nancy Drew channel.